This next verse I think is so powerful. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil and my cup overflows. When you read that and think about it, it's a little bit bizarre. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Now, you might think of enemies as people who are not very nice to you, say perhaps horrible things about you. But in David's day, they were serious enemies. They were after his life. Why would you prepare a table full of food in front of your enemies? I want to suggest this. Whatever enemies have been out to get you throughout life, God says this: I'm not going to give you ammunition or weapons to fight back. I'm going to prepare a table of food for you, and we're going to sit down together. And I think that says this. Whoever our enemies are, whoever wants our harm, whoever would want to destroy us, God says, leave that to me. Let's sit down and have some food. And I don't know if you can imagine this. This is what I imagined when I read this. There's a table in the middle of a battlefield. There's two of you sat down having a meal, and all the enemies are surrounding you with their weapons and their aggression. And you two are just sat there having your meal. God says, leave it to me. I'll sort the enemies out. Leave it to me. We can use up an awful lot of our energy trying to fight our enemies, carrying the hurt, the pain, the bitterness, the resentment of what people have done to us, how hurt we've been, how it's wrong. Somebody needs to sort it out. Somebody needs to do something. And God says this: sit down, have a meal with me, and I'll sort it out. Leave it to me. I think that's so lovely. David knew all about this. He knew very, very real enemies. He knew people who were after his life. He was chased and hunted down many times. There's a lovely story of how Saul, his greatest enemy, for some reason Saul took a dislike to David and wanted him dead, chased him, hunted him. When Saul had died and Saul's grandson had been crippled, David invited his grandson to come and sit at the king's table, because David was now king. And this young man came and sat at the table of David, and without any resentment or anger about how his granddad had treated David, David said, "You're welcome at my table." Isn't that lovely? Real act of grace and kindness.
And I will trust in Jesus, I will trust.